half swings into an impact bag, and this is actually at the same time, keeping you on plane, working some of the fundamentals, is actually a core exercise, okay? And all I'm going to do in repetition fashion would be to come down and explode into the bag. That's a core contraction, that's explosive, that's quick, okay? So if I do a set of 8, I'm basically doing a workout that's functional, what we call functional, because you're swinging a golf club, but that's quickness. Every PGA level professional, every nationwide, every LPGA player does that kind of stuff, whether they understand it or not. That's the kind of quickness they have that you need. Some of you have it right now, you don't even know you do. Some of you don't have it, but we need to train that aspect into your golf swing. The more you train to get physically stronger, you also are training technique. One of the reasons we hold our lower body still and pop the bag. And if you have problems doing that, we can actually put a Swiss ball between your knees and lock the lower body out. Have you squeezing the ball helps you root to the ground, but it essentially eliminates the lower body from moving. And we can actually do the same exercise with a locked lower body. The reason we would do things like this, functionally, is that in the golf swing, the lower body is used as an anchor when you contract really hard. When we go into our breakouts biomechanics stuff, we're going to show you how to train more traditionally, doing kind of like diagonal crunches, as well as things like this. But what happens when you swing a golf club, you accelerate your lower body first. The core musculature in a diagonal pattern gets quickly loaded, and that's the quickness and the explosiveness. And then those muscles contract. They hold the lower body, they grab the lower body as an anchor, accelerate the upper body. You don't need to understand that, but that occurs. Exercises that are functional are going to train explosiveness and quickness. This is your basketball, this is your first step, and then how it blends into the swing. Release. Everyone watching golf can see the better players have angle and release angle, however it wants to be defined in golf terms, okay? How do they do that? It's not with the hands. I think, Adam and both Brad and Adam both point out, a lot of positional stuff will give you the idea that I can manufacture that movement. The hand movement, just like snapping a towel, really isn't about my wrist. This action, that action is really not about this. It's about how well I control my lower body and my core. So being able to create angle, or whatever you want to call it, and release that angle, getting the maximum speed output and the most accurate speed output, the consistent path and all that, really comes from the core. How well you stabilize at your feet and in your balance, and how well you control with your core. So one of the things that we can do then, again, a balance exercise, a core control exercise that relates very directly to golf, are these little, what we call like towel snaps. So we have like a bath towel taped up. And the idea is what we're going to do is just take a sort of like a mock golf swing, or a mini golf swing, swing the towel back, and then let it go into the bag. And what we're doing here is, what you'll find when you practice these is it's not coming from my arms, but my ability to control that release comes from my core. And the more speed I want to create, the more I want to actually get a snap out of it, and get some snap out of it, the stronger I need to contract at the core, the more I need to be rooted. So a lot of it has to do with balance and core. So these are exercises that train just like you would in the gym, and you can do them away from golf in the gym, but they're also repetitively taking you through patterns and technique stuff that you may be working out with your coach. So there's a whole host of things like this that you can work on. Injury after elbow injury, shoulder injury after shoulder injury, and never really became much. I mean, they had a nice major or minor league career, but that was about it. And a lot of that stems from how they learned to throw when they were younger. They had great physical ability, but technique, it was lacking. And same thing happens in golf. I mean, it's less obvious, but the same thing can happen in golf. Not only will that stuff keep, performance-wise, keep you from excelling to the next level, but it will also add up on your back, your hips, your knees, your ankles. That kind of stuff adds up. So you may either be playing in pain all the time, or may not ever actually make it to those levels that you want to excel to due to injury. And that the same injury stuff is going to affect your ability to perform as well.
Okay, I'm going to oversimplify everything Chris just said for you right here. I want everybody to do a little exercise for me. Put your hand flat on the desk in front of you. Lift up one finger off the desk. Snap it down as hard as you can. Make as much noise as you can. Got it? Great. All right, now, leaving your hand on the desk, leaving these fingers down, I want you to pull a finger up and let it snap. Where do you hit right there, Steve? Heard it for a second. simple analogy, but that's really what we're trying to do in a golf swing. In a more complex dynamic motion, well, you can train to do that, you know, and you can coordinate that through your segments. And you can go from that to a whole bunch of that and hit it far and straight.
We don't think about this stuff. You know, we do simple stuff.
Thoughts might be going in the hole, something like that. You know, that'd be okay. Get you some of this, Tiger. I'll go with that one. Here you go, Sergio.
So out of curiosity, because we do a lot of these, we do it for golf, but we also do a lot of them for baseball, lacrosse, other sports. Out of curiosity, how many golfers in here are also playing other sports in addition to golf? Yeah, virtually everyone, right? That's fantastic. It wasn't that long ago where in the same room, when half the people would raise their hand. And so today, the golfer, more than ever, is coming into the game as an athlete. So I'm sure as a function of those other sports, you're doing some sort of strength and conditioning, even if it's just the basic kind of calisthenics that you do with football, lacrosse, you know, hockey, you know, field hockey, whatever you know your sport might be. But you're coming in already with a tool set that a lot of the players on tour now didn't have. You know, so you're already ahead of the game. What we want to be able to do is take what you already have, which is already ahead of the game. And this generation is going to be a generation of Tigers. And Tiger's kind of a standalone guy right now. You guys are all a generation of Tigers. What's that? Oh, yeah. But so what we want to do is we want you to hone that ability, hone that athletic ability into effective golf performance. So you know, there's definitely an evolution where people are training more, you know, more and smarter, but it's still not as functional as the kind of stuff you're going to learn today. And function at the end of the day is the name of the game. You know, and it's about efficiency. Okay? You know, it used to be back in the day, not so long ago, endurance athletes or cyclists. You know, endurance was about getting on the bike for 6 hours a day, or out on the treadmill, or out running, or whatever it was. Now they train a lot smarter. It's about intervals. A lot of what endurance athletes do to create more endurance, the VO2 max, you know, and such, is burst training, short duration intervals, high intensity sprints, wind sprint kind of stuff. So they can get the same output, far less actual, you know, much more efficient, far less time, and more effectively. That's what we want to do with you guys here. You know, we want to make this more efficient for you.
This might be your wind sprints for golf. Might trade your speed for golf. Coordination.
Mm-hmm. But it's, you know, it's important to understand, and that's that golf is just like all these other sports, any power sport, and I put up a bunch of them. Quickness and explosiveness, believe it or not, is the key. You know, and you may think of it, you know, your straight out speed or that. In golf, and I just showed you a little bit, quickness and explosiveness, your ability to do what Adam just did, that little finger snap is a perfect example. That's quickness right there. And that's what you need to train. Well, you need to train it in golf swing patterns. And so that's basically what this is about. From our perspective, is giving you the physical tools, the physical motions and strength and coordination, so that when you go work with these guys, you can do what they ask you to do without thinking about it, and do it, you know, as well as you possibly can do it.
How many of y'all, when you go to play around, you go out and you get your warm-up bucket of the range, you're kind of going through your very whatever number of swing thoughts until you find the one that clicks and you run with that one for the day. Anybody here do that? Come on, don't be shy. Okay, we've all done it at one time. So it'd be a lot better if you knew exactly where your pattern lacked. You know, like long term, like if I went to see a trainer and really wanted to get in good shape, the trainer would say you need to lose weight here, you need to get stronger there, and I'd have a program. Well, this is getting your golf swing in shape, getting your golf movement pattern in shape, teaching your golf movement pattern